Good night, sweet dreams. That's what my dad would say to me. But sometimes I had trouble falling asleep. Then he would tell me stories about his travels. I want this tradition to live on. So now, let me share my stories with you. I cross the beach slowly, carefully, like a turtle finding its way. It takes gentle focus and body control to balance over these smooth fist-sized stones under my sandals. The turquoise clear Mediterranean rolls against the shore in shallow breathing waves. Scattered cirrus clouds draw thin gossamer veils across an otherwise brilliant blue sky. Barely dawn, it's already warm enough that my shorts and soft linen shirt are the perfect summer attire. A thin film of sweat has formed on my forehead. I gently wipe it away with the back of my hand. The ground of smooth polished stones that cover the length of this beach keeps shifting beneath my feet. I take each step consciously to avoid twisting an ankle. My attention flows to the soles of my shoes, to my body's weight distribution, and finally to how the stones respond to me. I feel deeply into myself as I lift my leg or bend a knee. With sharp ears, I listen to the subtle differences in the crunching and cracking of the white stones. My beach walk becomes a walking meditation, complete with the soothing sound of eternal waves in the background. After traversing the coast in deep absorption for a while, I stop and direct my gaze toward the water. I remind myself why I'm actually here. This morning wasn't just about a simple beach walk at dawn. Something much more special, more sacred, drew me to this southwestern corner of Cyprus. This place, Kuklia Beach, holds something steeped in the aura of Greek mythology. A large rock juts up from the sea ahead of me, majestic and timeless. It seems to be made of the same white stone that covers the entire beach. This rock isn't just beautiful because turquoise waves and bright sunlight break against it. This particular boulder, where scattered tufts of saltwort and stone clover grow, is Aphrodite's rock. It is where the Greek goddess of beauty and love, the foam-born Aphrodite, rose from the sea. Perhaps it's because of my gentle beach meditation, but I feel deeply receptive to the mythological and mystical vibrations in this place. Gazing at these legendary waters, memories surface like gentle waves. Past loves, former partners, all the souls who've touched my journey feel alive and present. I'm not the only one who feels this ancient magic. On full moons, the beach near Kuklia is a popular destination for young couples. It is said that if you swim together 3 times around Aphrodite's rock, your love will last a lifetime. I stand at the water for quite a while, listening to the waves and breathing the fresh air. The sun warms my body, while a light breeze cools my skin. I let my mind wander. Cyprus, after Sardinia and Sicily, is the third largest island in the Mediterranean and bears the name Island of the Gods. This doesn't surprise me. I've only been here a few days, and already it's clear to me why the gods chose this island. Where else should the goddess of beauty, Aphrodite, have come ashore if not here, on this dream island off the southern coast of Turkey? If I had the choice of where to rise from the sea, I too would have chosen Cyprus. Its beaches, its mountains, and its perfect sky give it a mythical, powerful aura like no other. It was made by gods for gods. I slowly make my way back to my car. Still filled with the spirit of Greek antiquity, I'm on my way to Nicosia, the capital city. I wind my way along the very cusp of Cyprus, leaving the windows wide and enjoying the strong winds. Even from the road, the beauty of this island cannot be overlooked. The landscape is a picturesque mix of coastal strips, green hills, and lush fields of fruit. The deep blue Mediterranean meets both rocky cliffs and inviting sandy beaches. The untouched hills to my left are covered with shrubs and wildflowers and offer a sweeping view into the island's interior. Along the road I pass vineyards, olive groves, and fields of persimmons, strawberries, grapefruits, and pomegranates. This land is brimming with life. The wind swirls my hair while touching my skin with its gentle coolness. Mixed with the wind, the sound of wheels on the road creates a soft hum that calms the movement of my thoughts and relaxes my body. I feel one with the car, easily sliding around the corners like the muscles of a lion slide under its skin. I effortlessly let the car take me up and down the seaside hills of this beautiful landscape, enjoying each moment. Around midday, I make a stop at Kuris Dam. This picturesque reservoir, with its cold, clear water, has played an important role in the water supply of the entire region since ancient times. I park the car above the dam and gaze out in amazement. Nestled into the hilly landscape with its deep green but sparse vegetation, the water of the lake sparkles in the sunlight. After a few moments, I make my way slowly down to the water's edge, where, in complete peacefulness, I walk the shoreline. Barefoot now, I gently wade ankle-deep into the clear water, a pleasant, cool refreshment in the midday heat. The current dam dates from the 1980s. In the valley of today's lake once lay the small village of Alassa, which was relocated to make way for the huge reservoir. One building remains, however, the Church of St. Nicholas. This sacred relic still stands on the shores of this man-made lake. Depending on the water's level, the picturesque ruin lies partially submerged beneath the surface. It's a magical sight. The gentle waves of the lake wash around the remains of the old church's walls. The water is so clear that I can easily make out the rectangular foundation of this former house of worship. But little still stands. 2 walls of the crumbling building rise from the water. Also rising is a small tower, with elongated arches and a small cross on top, the perfect example of an Orthodox dome. Reeds grow on the white stones that lay underfoot. All around me stretches the lake, until in the far distance it disappears into the hills of Cyprus. For a while, I just stand there and let the ruin work on me. Now and then a bird passes overhead, through the pearl blue sky in front of the warm Mediterranean sun. There is beauty in the transient, I think, and I feel a quiet, very pleasant melancholy rising within. I slowly return to my car with a full heart and continue toward Nicosia. On Platia Eleftherias, the Square of Freedom, in the heart of the Greek part of Cyprus's capital, I buy a bottle of still mineral water at a small kiosk. When I take the bottle from the refrigerator, condensation forms immediately. I unscrew the cap and take a deep drink. The cold, clear water runs down my throat like an elixir of life. In the heat of the summer afternoon, this is pure relief. I feel the cooling bring me back to my senses. I set down the half-empty bottle and look around. Cyprus's capital is a popular destination, yet the stream of tourists remains manageable. The typical Mediterranean streets and alleys, with their 2-story buildings and low doors, are not overcrowded. No one is in a hurry. The atmosphere has a summery serenity. Alone, in pairs, or in small groups, people stroll across the square. They photograph architectural landmarks like the Venetian city wall, enjoy a coffee or cold drink in one of the many street cafes, or linger at shop displays leafing through postcards. Multilingual chatter and the sounds of passing cars fill the air. Children laugh and play in and around the centuries-old fountains. Bringing color to the scene, tasteful arrangements of basil, bougainvillea, and paper flower grow on the balconies and windows of restored houses. I empty the rest of my bottle and continue on, stepping into Ledra Street. This lively promenade winds through the historic center of Nicosia and offers something to all my senses. There is plenty to see, to hear, or to smell at every turn. One shop follows another, with separate worlds colliding and then merging. Branches of international chains find space between private boutiques, small craft shops, and local restaurants. A young woman in a business suit with a coffee-to-go cup strides past a street cafe where an elderly gentleman leisurely stirs sugar into his espresso. In front of a shop that buys and sells mobile phones, 2 boys press their noses against the window. Just a few meters away, a street artist delights his audience with a mixture of magic and comedy. I can enjoy all this fully, because the summer afternoon on Ledra Street is remarkably pleasant. This is due to a trick as simple as it is brilliant. Triangular sun sails, alternating in white and saffron, stretch over the street and interlock at their points. They paint the pattern of a shade-providing zipper on the pavement, ensuring a comfortable strolling experience. For a moment, I stand amazed beneath one of the sails and wonder why this idea hasn't spread to every place where summers can get unbearably hot. On Ledra Street there's also a border crossing. Nicosia, like all of Cyprus, is divided into the Greek and Turkish regions. Moving from one side to the other proves quite simple. A border guard compares my face with a photo on my passport, somewhat disinterestedly. He quickly hands back my ID and wishes me a nice day, while already waving the next travelers forward. Arriving on the Turkish side, I have the feeling of stepping through a magical portal. I'm undoubtedly in another country. The soundscape changes immediately. I suddenly hear Turkish everywhere. The calling of merchants, the babble of people. The buildings along the street show clear Turkish influence. The facades are decorated with intricate Eastern ornaments. Here and there in the background, mosque minarets rise magically into the sky. Ledra Street on the Turkish side of Nicosia feels like a traditional bazaar. It's a different city. Everything is narrower, more winding, more densely packed. The scent of spices and the aroma of grilled lamb hang in the air. I make my way through the colorful bustle, lingering at one stand or another to admire trinkets, sample food, or feel the quality of the hand-woven carpets. Eventually, I reach my destination. The Büyük Han was once a large inn for traveling merchants in the late Middle Ages and remains an impressive complex today. Now, this pitch-sized 500-year-old building with its 68 rooms caters to tourism, while the massive stone walls still tell a centuries-old story of protection and security, a story of a more dangerous world. The architecture of the Büyük Han is a harmonious blend of Ottoman and Cypriot elements. Thick stone walls and arched passages radiate strength, while artfully carved wooden beams and balconies lend the structure elegance. The courtyard smells of flowers, jasmine, oleander, and lemon verbena. A small fountain babbles continuously, offering a pleasant background sound. Warm sunlight falls through the artfully designed pointed arches and window openings, bathing everything in golden light. In the center of the courtyard still stands a tiny 16th century mosque, barely large enough for a few people to pray together. Everywhere there are small shops and merchants, silver jewelry on leather cords, Ottoman-style clothing, baklava, spice mixtures, semi-precious stones, and watercolor paintings. I lose myself for a while browsing the displays until my legs can barely carry me. At wooden tables under the shade of umbrellas, chai and kebab are served. I take a seat and enjoy a hearty dinner while the sun slowly sets behind the walls of the Büyük Han. I spent the night in a hotel room in the Greek part of the city. Terracotta tiles cover the floor. They feel pleasantly cool beneath my feet on my way from the bathroom to the bed. The soft linen bedding smells freshly washed and lays like a light veil on my skin. I stretch out fully and let all the tension leave my muscles and bones, sinking deeply into the mattress and pillow. I feel safe and secure, as if I were still inside the protective walls of the Büyük Han. Traces of Cyprus's scents still linger in my nose. Spices and tea, coffee and grilled meats, flowers and the salty sea air. I follow their faint aromatic trails more deeply into my mind. As in a time lapse, colors and lines pass before my closed eyes. I float out from Nicosia and fly over the coast of Cyprus, past Korisdam, where the ruin of a small Orthodox church still rises from the water, past the persimmons, vineyards, and olive groves, past the craggy cliffs and stony beaches, past the winding roads, further and further still. Finally, I land on a white rock in the sea. I sit and gaze transfixed at a spot on the water. Foam rises. The curled hair of a woman emerges from within. Her head is revealed. I look into an alabaster white face of such perfect beauty that I'm awed. Brighter and brighter shines this light onto me. It envelops me. It envelops Cyprus. Then the world. And I fall into a deep, restful